Good morning, you beautiful souls. Slow waking up today. Get the cleansing over with. Souls. Not SOUL. That's 67. But SOL. Souls. SOLS. 65 is abundance. And I'm looking at one love. Because there only is one who's good. There's only one. So, one love in Strong's Concordance, 88. One love in Gematria, 88. And in Strong's Concordance, it is without ceasing. So, one love without ceasing, 88, 88. Fucking infinity. That's all I got, you know. I'm just thinking on camping. So today we got obsidian and tiger's eye. The obsidian traps all negativity before it can even reach me. All negativity in that rock. And this tiger's eye, watching it. You can see negativity a mile away. I try to avoid it. I was looking to camping. Last year at this time I went camping, and mentions in the Bible that, you know, old men will have visions. Well, I had a vision. I know there's some spirituality behind the vision. Should I tell? Well, whatever. The vision was, I was in my tent sleeping, which is true. I was in my tent sleeping. That was not a vision. But in the vision, I opened the zipper of my tent because there was some noise out there, and I stuck my head out. And I looked, and in the middle of the field that I was at, there was a man and a woman standing. The man had a black horse behind him on lead, and the woman had a white horse behind her on lead. And they said, "Are we early? We must be early because there's nobody here." They did say they'd be here Saturday at 7, right? The girl said yes. And then I woke up and I was in my tent in my sleeping space. So that was, the vision was me in my tent looking out of the tent, but I wasn't looking out of the tent, I was in the tent. So there's something spiritual about the horses. I believe some people say that's spirit, you know, source. I don't know nothing about it. I just know I had a vision. And up until that point, my visions had only been vague visions, but that one had vocals. It was the first time I had vocals. So I'm really looking forward to camping in another few days. I see we're getting into some plus temperatures, and so long as the nighttime temperatures don't go below 10 degrees Celsius, I'll survive in comfort. I got a song for us this morning to sit and breathe through. Just thank you. Thank you. Oh, so good. So, that's all I have is one love. Even if you put me in the miserable box or the, I don't know what box you put me in. I don't really care, you know? You can keep me there if you like. It's alright. There's lots of me. Unceasing. 88. Unceasing. You know, I got nowhere else to be. I got nowhere else to go. So I'll be right here. We got some Flaherty Brothers this morning. I'm sitting here looking at my lion, and I'm thinking, what more appropriate of a song? Oh, I'll show you my lion. There's my lion. Watches over me. When everybody else was too busy, he sits here and listens to me. I don't say too much usually. Usually I don't say too much. Just sit here. Winter is hard. It's hard. Outside I don't care what it's like. Inside it's hard. Do what you do. You can't talk to people. You can't just be outside. But there are homeless here that are outside all year long. But they're not the happiest, you know, so it's for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons, they're unhappy. And I would be too, you know. How could I deliver them positivity? What would it take, you know? I don't know. Anyways, that's too deep for the morning. I hardly got my brain turned on yet. Love y'all. Let's listen to a song.
The lion's cutting loose the 7 seals, tearing thorns from the skin of his heels. And the war horse is prancing in the field, but it's bad news through and through. That's why they call it the Revelation Blues. There's a locust sleeping under the fig tree, a flattened worm in the mellow peach, and a woman on the shore of a boiling sea. It's easy to misconstrue. That's why they call it the Revelation Blues. I've got rope in my line and in my palm, a rider on my back that can't be thrown down. We made a mess of paradise, so we're going home now. But darling, we know know it's no use. That's why it's called the Revelation Blues. And oh my Lord, I fail at every turn. The answers feel like strangers and leave me here to yearn. My heart is growing colder for warmth I cannot earn. Will I ever truly turn? The lion's cutting loose the seven seals, tearing thorns from the skin of his heels. And the war horse is prancing in the field, but it's bad news through and through. That's why they call it the Revelation Blues.
I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Sometimes I have something to close with. Today I don't. A lot of things going on in the world, you know, people don't want to talk about. Is that consent? Is silence consent? Because I did not consent. I do not consent. Never did. Never will. You know. Most High, I surrender. Man? No. No. I don't give a fuck what badge you wear, what degree you have. Because you know you're no better. Write a book, repeat a book, Google it. Sorry, don't mean to be mean to the well-educated, you know? I don't know if I call it educated or indoctrinated. I'm not too sure. What job can't you do? If somebody says, I got a job. Stay with me for 2-3 days. Here's what we do. Here's how we do my job. You know? What job do you think you couldn't do that somebody could do? A doctor? Well, surgeon is different. Surgeon's different. You gotta be in the healthcare profession. The ones who take care of people, nurses. It takes a special kind of person, you know, that truly cares. A surgeon has to overcome what the most of us would turn away from, the sight of blood and tissues. So that's a different thing that I'm talking about with doctors. They've made it so you can't escape the medical system. You know, when I started work, I'll start Monday. Now I was like, well, we got to go to a doctor because what if you get sick on the job, or you're worried more about your fucking insurance than my life. The fuck, retarded. But you got to go for a physical. But then they got you on record. You went in, they take your blood. Nobody's taking my blood. You dirty fucks. Anyways, I digress. I could go off on the whole medical system. Like I say, it's not the whole thing. It's not the whole thing. It's the doctors who were about to prescribe one shot to fix all and take away my connection to Source, my connection to God, my connection to my family, my job, my life. Y'all ain't so smart, you know. When I say take away my connection to God, it was in my religious rights. My religious rights is my God says, fear nothing. No man, no, fear nothing. So I don't fear your death. I don't fear your disease. And I'm looking at the way that favoritism goes on in my own country. And I'm not downplaying any religion. Love the Muslims, love the Hindus, love everybody. Everybody. But say I go to get my driver's license, picture taken, and they'll say, take off your hat. My feathers. Take off your hat. But I wear this hat, or a hat, every day, all day. It's a spiritual thing for me. I'm a warrior. Now, they won't give me my driver's license if I don't take off my hat for the picture. It will become a stink. But if somebody goes in there with a turban, they don't even ask them to take it off. Because it's a spiritual thing. Well, what isn't spiritual? Everything here is spiritual. Everything here is spiritual. To how you eat your food. Thank you, Spirit. To how you breathe. 3, 4, 5 in. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5 out. 2, 3, 4, 5. However, whatever number you pick. During this thing, I pick like 3 or 4. But if I'm sitting here in meditation, slowly, over 20, 50 breaths, I can get up to like 9 seconds to bring it all in. Hold for 9 seconds. Slowly breathe out for 9 seconds, controlling it as it goes out, and hold it out for 9 seconds. Why 9? I don't know. 9's are my number. Even though I was listening to a thing about our birth, we all know our life path. Add your year of your birth. 19 is 10 plus whatever year you have, and then lower that down to its minimalist form, which for me is a life path 5, which is change, the bridge, you know, the bridge. To what? I don't know, but I watched a thing on a Buddhist thing on the numbers 1 to 10, because everything seems to be in the ancient things about a 10, like a completion of a cycle. Right? If you're watching, if you the Chinese calendar of the zodiac, each one of those is a 10-year cycle, and then that 10-year cycle becomes a 60-year cycle. But anyways, where was I? I got lost there. The 10-year cycle. Oh, so yeah, the Buddhist, and it described, you can find the description of what the last digit of every year is. And I listened to 1 to, I skipped over 3, 4, 5, and 6 because I'm at 7 is my last year, so the last number of my year. And it described my life. You will probably experience this. You will probably have these kind of relationships. How the fuck did they know? You know, how did they know? People around you don't know. Like, nobody even want to know. I'm not knocking nobody, but nobody really cares about that stuff. But to me, it's very important. It's very important to, what did my forefathers do? What did they think? How did they sleep? I'm sleeping on the floor here, and I looked at a thing about sleeping and how we used to all sleep twice a day. There was 2 sleeps a day. And the second sleep, the first sleep, hardly anything. The second sleep was to get up, do your meditation, your prayer, and then go back to sleep. And after that, you would have your deep sleep and your dream, your vision. See, sometimes, to me, there's a difference between a dream and a vision. The vision is like, I'm aware. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. The dream seems to just happen. But it seems like I'm in some sort of control. Well, you can't control shit, but in some sort of control of a vision. Like I'm actually there. Like I was saying about the tent, opening the zipper. You know what that feels like. Like you know what the experience of, this is how you unzip a tent and open the flaps to look outside, and then so you feel that. And that, to me, is the vision, is when you feel it, you experience the feeling that goes along with the vision. In the dream, you feel nothing. So I don't know if this is some sort of... Anyways, I talk too much. Me and my lion are gonna just take it easy today. I love you all. I probably talk too much, but it is what it is. Love you.